Welcome to episode 11 of the Fake Fans podcast.
Episode 11.
Guys? Welcome back.
You know, honestly, we were talking about reevaluating Fake Fans when it hits the end of the first season. I don't know if we ever talked about what episode was the end of season 1. So,
oh, shit. Yeah. Well, I didn't really know that podcasts came in seasons.
They don't, but I think it's cute if ours does.
That does make sense.
Yeah, because we're like kind of focused on anime manga. I feel like arcs would be quite good. You know what is one core in anime? 12, right?
That's true. It's
2
12.
core is 28.
Wait, doesn't that mean like we're about to finish our first season though?
Yeah, we're about to finish
12?
our first core.
How would you rate our first core overall?
Oh, I would say pretty good.
I would say it's pretty good for like two guys that like have. Well, I personally
have memory issues.
Yeah, I have memory issues.
Age issues.
Okay, listen, we are in our prime still.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that so that we can reaffirm with each other and revalidate our feelings.
No, you're old. I'm young still.
Okay, Unk.
Oh, don't call me fucking Unk, bro.
My chat's been calling me Unk recently. I'm like, you guys gotta stop. You guys gotta stop with this Unk nonsense, man.
Well, I mean, dude, the thing is, I guess like 30s, mid 30s, that is like when you would be like a father / uncle at some point, right?
Dude, it's crazy because like I feel like my idea of regular is very weird because like I feel like I'm friends with a lot of people who haven't married yet or but I know a lot of people who have married in their 20s. And so we are like, I don't know, like life is different for my group.
Yes, I would definitely say, you know, like we share a lot of the same friends. I think creators in general tend to, I mean, our friends at least.
I would say prioritize career earlier.
Yeah.
And then like tend to go backwards for other stuff, which makes sense because our careers are somewhat short. Yeah. I would say there's not much stability in what we do, I feel.
But like also at the same time, I think our generation was kind of like that weird like bridge generation where like, yeah, a lot of our peers had gotten married or had kids in their 20s.
Yeah.
But like there is like a larger proportion of our peers that are just not. Like I do have a lot of friends from college that are only now just starting to get married in their like late 20s to 30s.
You know what more educated a population is or a country is, the less the birth rate is?
I believe it.
So like we're just the most educated amongst.
Or is it because we're fucking poor? I think that might. Well, I mean, not we, like me and you are poor, but like I think our generation is having definitely a harder time owning property.
Oh yeah, no, paying for houses is like that's like a dream,
dude.
It's rough out here, man. We're looking at houses, and I'm like, oh, in LA, look for a house. The average cost of a home in California,
$786,000 right now. And I can't think of a home that's not just a fucking dirt plot with dead bodies beneath it that is worth less than $1 million.
780,000 means I'm buying a house in Compton, which is cool, but like I do risk the shot of, you know, gang violence or something out there. I don't really know how bad Compton is, but I've been, you know, it's got a reputation for a reason.
I mean, according to Dr. Dre, right?
Yeah.
We actually don't really know anything about rap culture.
I'm not that hard.
I feel like a lot of people that are into hip hop and rap are
I'm not here
like,
to appropriate.
Yeah.
I grew up very whatever. In Houston, H-Town, born and raised.
What does that mean? What does growing up really whatever mean?
I mean, I guess I was about to say like I grew up really privileged, and I realized like I don't know if I grew up super privileged. Like I didn't, because like my family felt like we were like living paycheck to paycheck when I have my first memories of my family. But it definitely at some point we did get a lot of income, so it eventually became that place where like we could like order out food. We had like a house and stuff like that. So I would say like my parents worked their ass off to get the money.
Yeah,
like, just straight up.
I think that like a lot of minority families like probably have like immigrant minority families have a similar experience. Yeah,
it's crazy to hear like my dad's side of his family, and it's like, oh, his sister owns hospitals in Shanghai. My dad's younger brother was like one of the youngest graduates ever from MIT or something, and I'm just here being like,
MIT. What about TFT?
Yeah,
am I right?
God.
Am I right, fellas? Yeah,
God,
fucking
please.
Yeah.
But
fuck
like
MIT, bro.
It's like crazy. Like they worked really hard back then. I hate you guys. You guys are the fucking worst.
Listen, I'm just trying to like fucking like talk up your accomplishments, baby. You know what I mean? Like you're my favorite TFT
I
streamer.
feel less accomplished the more you talk.
Okay, well, shit, that's crazy. That's crazy. That wasn't my fucking goal at all. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, like, just you could tell your future generations about how you were the premier content creator of TFT, and don't even bring up
the other 4 people.
Who cares about graduating from MIT? Like, who cares?
It's true. No, honestly, like I feel like creator is actually something that my parents were like, oh, that's like it's a real ass job.
Yeah.
Like before, my parents were like, that's not a real ass job. I'm like, you're not wrong.
I mean, I think okay. So my mom was extremely supportive of me, like just my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think when I told her I wanted to be a content creator, that was probably like the hardest time that she had in terms of like just fully supporting me. But she did though. She still, regardless, did. But like it was like, you know, I come from like a traditional Korean household, doctor, lawyer, etc.
I come from a traditional Chinese household, and I got doctor, lawyer, or astronaut.
Yeah.
Which I found out later that it's so hard to be an astronaut.
Yeah. You know, there's that one Korean guy that did all 3, I think, right? Like he did all 3 and also was like a fucking scientist and a Navy SEAL or some shit. There's some Korean
I know who
guy.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
What's his name? Not Peter or something? Or
No,
like
it's not Peter. There is a Peter Park. He shares my fucking name. There is a Peter Park out there.
Oh yeah, it's this guy.
So Johnny Kim, born in February 5th, 1984, was a Korean-American Navy SEAL, doctor, aviator, and astronaut who was a member of NASA's Artemis team. So
isn't that crazy?
That's fucking crazy.
This is like the person my mom wish was her child.
Yeah.
Because like the thing about Asian parents, I don't know if your parents did this, but all the Asian parents gathered together on weekends or something and just talk about their kids.
Oh yeah, no. So my mom was part of those church social circles where they would. So yeah, like I kind of felt hella bad for my mom because my oldest brother, like he works in a denim factory. Like I think he's one of the smartest people I know. But like, you know, like I wouldn't say that his accomplishments on paper reflect that necessarily in terms of like what like these like older generation Korean like parents, adults are looking for.
Yeah.
But I still think he's like he is like one of the smartest people I know. But like what he does isn't something that like what my mom would like brag about in a social circle. My second brother is a teacher, which is like also like not necessarily a career field that like Korean parents boast about.
I just want to pause there and say teaching is a profession that I have the utmost respect for.
Oh, I agree.
If you could teach, I was a piece of shit when I was a kid. If you could teach like kids who like have no respect for you and like are really annoying, like I don't know.
I think a nightmare vocation is being a middle school / high school teacher. And I have so much fucking respect for teachers that like people who teach in those grades and not only that are good teachers.
You're a vital core part of the upbringing of a child in their like most formative years. And you get paid like shit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, that like, come on, man.
I don't understand how we pay so much in taxes and like it's crazy to me that teachers do not get paid more.
Yeah. They are as one of the backbones of, I would say, like my childhood. Like, I remember the good teachers.
Yeah.
The teachers I had a really great time with.
Yeah.
The teacher that was really funny but was not a good teacher, I remember that too.
Yeah. Like I think we all like a lot of people can relate to like how like a teacher could be almost like a parental figure in their life in some ways, like the good ones.
Yes.
You know, because God bless him, my mom worked her fucking ass off, but she wasn't really present at home as often just because of how hard she worked. And my dad also was just like not really present in my life in general. Mm-hmm. So I remember all the really good fucking teachers that came and went through my life and had a massive positive impact in my life.
The teachers that would literally stay after the end of school.
Yeah.
And they would just stay for hours.
Yeah.
That's completely unpaid.
Dude, yeah. If you think about it, like there are these teachers that stay until like 6 or 7 p.m. after they've done a full fucking 8-hour shift of teaching classes to these annoying ass kids. Because I know I was an annoying ass kid, and they still stay like voluntarily to make sure that these kids like have some sort of like, you know, developmental like upbringing and like a safe space to be in.
Nothing but respect. Again.
Fucking hell. But I mean, at the same time, I also remember the horrible teachers I've had too. You know, like those, they really do stand out to you, like the great teachers and the horrible teachers.
Yeah. They definitely influence a lot of how you grow up. I still remember like going to one of my English teachers in when I was in middle school, and was it middle or high school? And they used the word salient for the first time, and I'm like, what word is that? Oh my god! I thought my teacher was the smartest teacher in the world.
I mean, that's not
because she would just say words like this, but not in a pretentious way. She would use like SAT vocabulary words as part of her normal language, and it would not be in a way where it felt like she was just intelligent as a person, and she was. She went on after being a teacher to just running like the entire district.
That's crazy.
Like literally, like our class. I think this was high school. She taught us high school, and then after my year, she just left to become like a district like overseer for the entire curriculum. I'm like, good, she deserves that shit. She's smart as hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember like I still have like that's a word I know because in my childhood, one of my teachers said it a lot, and I was like, that's a fucking SAT word. But she was smart as hell, and now I know what salient means.
Do you have any school scandals?
We probably did, but I think our school, at least. Our middle school was pretty whatever. It was a private middle school because my parents spent like all their money they got into making sure me and my brother got a private education. And afterwards we got to high school. They're like, this was not fucking worth it. So we got sent to public school. Public school, I think the biggest thing is just that like our graduating class was much lower than our starting class. I don't know if it's true for all high schools, but public high school, we were like, I think we started with around 700, 800 people. And our graduating class was like 500.
Yeah.
So and like maybe
that is actually pretty small.
Maybe that's normal, but
I feel like that's small.
Maybe yeah. I just know our graduating class, like a lot of people didn't graduate, but I don't know if that's like a scandal. I see like a lot of times I'll see on TikTok like about high school scandals and stuff, and like I don't think we had many. The funniest thing that ever happened was we were in a Texas. It was like a meme, a football meme, because in one of our official games, one of our football players got hurdled in a play.
What does that mean? What's hurdled?
You know, like a hurdle where someone just jumps over.
Oh, literally, like leapfrog.
Yes, I think he had the ball and hurdled one of our I think offensive linemen, and I'm like, that is insane.
That's like something that would happen in like Ice Shield 21 or something.
Yeah, it was like an anime moment. I was like, oh, and you know how big like football is. Even high school football in Texas gets like scouted. Like straight up scouts are going to even like weird shitty schools in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. If they got good ass players, they will be there.
Okay.
You know? And so like yeah, our school was kind of a joke, I think, for that one.
Wait, okay, so I feel like your upbringing or like your education system maybe is pretty different from mine because yours is Texas and I was in California. I was born and raised in LA.
Okay.
So like how is sex education specifically? Because that is a conservative state, right?
I don't remember it. I don't even know if we had it. I think we had it, but I don't remember it.
Okay. So I'm wondering, like, do you remember like teen pregnancies like at your high school at all? Or was like your graduating class that
I think it was more like my friend group ish, or like my friends didn't really like in freshman year. I literally sat with one person, 0 people, and then one person.
Okay.
And I slowly made friends over the years.
Okay.
I would say none of my friends got teen pregnancies or any of that.
Okay. Yeah. Damn.
Was that different for you?
Yeah. No. I mean, well, just in general, like your upbringing just sounds, or like your school life. Like when I ask scandals, like you talking about like your teammate hurdling another teammate and becoming a meme, I'm thinking like, oh, like my stats teacher got arrested or not arrested, got fired, I think, because he like inappropriately touched one of my classmates and then he got reported for it.
Oh.
And like shit like that. I think we had a gym teacher sleep with a student. I remember in middle school, there was this kid that transferred in. He was like the cool kid, tough kid. And then he got expelled because he got caught with an unloaded pistol at school. There was that. I was a narc once in middle school. There was this kid who bullied me for reading manga, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm saying I didn't deserve the bullying for that, but like he brought soju to class in a thermos, and he was drinking and then getting drunk in class. So I told the teacher that
enough soju to fill a thermos.
A thermos, yeah.
Oh my
legit.
God.
So like the thing is, like he smelled really strongly of soju, and also I didn't like this kid. So like I was just like, oh, like I told the teacher like, yeah, this guy's fucking getting drunk in class. By the way, I don't know if you want to do something about it. So yeah, he got sent to the principal's office, and then I think he later got expelled for some other shit. Like he was like a troublemaker, but I mean that guy bullied me like all the fucking time. So like you know I might have been a narc, but I don't feel too bad about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna be completely honest.
You know, snitches don't get stitches all the time.
Yeah, but yeah. So I was wondering if you had any stories like that, but like
No, like but the thing is, it probably always also the people I hung around with. I did band when I was in middle school, but when I went to high school, which is most of my memories, I didn't join like orchestra or band. I was in the debate club, which is like, okay, I'm not gonna say for losers, but like there's a particular type of people who go to debate, and it's usually stop laughing, stop. Whenever you guys are thinking,
honestly, every time you bring up that you're in debate club, I just like imagine like you going with the glass, like, actually, you know, like that's just my image of you, man.
Okay, but yeah, so like I would even go to like I would go to like debate like summer prep, like oof. So like that's what I'm saying, like and like my parents wanted me so bad to go to a good college, like they wouldn't let me go home. I was forced to volunteer every single day of the week.
That's tough, buddy. That's
school.
Fucking tough.
They would drive me from school to the local library and be like, you're not allowed to come back till you're done with volunteering and homework. Every day.
Okay, to be fair though, like I wasn't much better. I went to SAT prep for like years. So
yeah, I went to SAT prep and I didn't do that well at SATs.
I was okay. So funny thing for me,
yeah,
I've like talked about this before, but like not on this podcast, but I was like a pretty bad SAT student. For some reason, like I just like couldn't improve. My grades, so the SAT at the time was out of 2,400.
Yes.
And there's like a written, reading comprehension, and math.
Yes.
Right? So I would score consistently between 16 to 1,800. Just like.
On all three combined?
No, yeah, on combined. So it was pretty bad for someone who was taking SAT courses. And they were just like not improving my grades. So I think I was kind of seen as like a hopeless case. Right. And the best thing I could take away from it was that like I was getting better vocabulary overall. Like, you know how your teacher said salient? It's like, I knew what salient meant.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I would say that like, oh, like this is kind of useless.
Oh my
God. But I took the SAT.
Yeah.
Right. And I checked my grade. And I remember thinking like, okay, this is probably like the example grade.
Yeah.
What's my real grade? Like this is like, I thought this was like this is what your score structure is going to look like. And I thought it was going to bring me to another page. But like, no, my score was 2210.
That's great.
Yes. For someone who is scoring consistent, I never on a mock SAT ever hit above 2K. Ever. So
2210 is amazing.
Yeah. So taking my first SAT ever and seeing that I got 2210 was like, holy shit. Wait, I kind of fucking killed it.
No, you didn't need to retake.
No. But I remember telling my brother my score because he did really well on the SAT, but okay, you know, he cheated, it turns out. He got a really good score and got into like a really prestigious college. But then when I told him my score, he said, oh, this means that you're smart enough to retake this and get a higher score. And I kid you not, I was just like, I'm not gonna fucking do that.
I retook the SAT because the first time I took the SAT was not good enough.
Yeah.
I think I got like a 20 something. Like literally it's like 2K.
Yeah.
Maybe 2050.
Yeah. That's not bad.
And then it was bad. Like my parents was fucking bad. Okay.
Oh yeah. In an Asian household.
I retook it and I got 2130.
That's pretty good.
Which I remember the problem wasn't that I got 2130. Okay. That was not the problem. The problem was my parents were upset that I got less than 800 on math. I shit you not. It's like a prophecy, you know? It is just like, they just were just like, wow, you're just not Asian enough to get a perfect score on math. I'm like, bro, man, like, come on. Because like, yeah, my mom's friend's kid got a perfect score on math. Dude, and my mom's friend's other kid got a perfect. I'm just like, sure, man.
Yeah. I just remember that the SAT prep course that I was taking, I think they're called Elite. Like they're very well known. I think it's like a chain. And they called because they just do the thing where they call every student to see how they did on the SAT. And I remember the guy who called me, he was like, oh, so what score did you get? Because he was expecting I got like a horrendous score. It's like, oh, I got 2210. He's like, huh? You got 22? Like he couldn't even hide his fucking shock, which I think is incredibly unprofessional, by the way.
Right, but like
he was just like, oh my, and he's like, wait, can we talk about how you got a 2210 in our newsletter? And I was like, sure. So like I think they used me to advertise like, oh, he was scoring 1600 and got a 2210 on the SAT.
They must have used you like
motherfuckers. But yeah, I just remember in undergrad I think I brought up my SAT score without like it really being like a natural conversation topic.
Yeah.
And it was like the cringiest thing ever. I remember everyone there. I think it was like 17 or 18 because it was freshman year. I remember everyone there was like, oh, okay, good for you, I guess. Because I still am very lacking in social like awareness and everything at that point. But I learned there like, this is not a cool thing to talk about.
You were like introduced, hey, my name's Peter Park, by the way, 2210.
Yeah, no, honestly, it might as well have been that fucking bad. But then that was like a turning point where I was like, oh, this is bad. Like, I'm very cringe and I should change this because this is college and this is a fresh start. And people don't know how much of a fucking cringe lord I am yet. 2210, by the way.
Do you remember when the Twitch rankings came out?
Oh, dude, yeah.
So the Twitch, for people that know, the Twitch.com streaming website, it got leaked how much income people made.
Through Twitch.
Through Twitch.
No.
And people started putting the number of their rank themselves, like a leaderboard, on their Twitch titles.
Yeah.
And I think I was 160. And then BoxPox was like 161.
Oh yeah, so you guys were right next to each other.
We were literally right next. It's so funny. We were just like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm doing good."
I think I was like 300 something.
It was just funny. It was like just a funny moment because then like also like obviously at the time I lived with like Pokey and shit, and I was like,
"Oh,
shit.
she's a single digiter."
Yeah,
oh god.
Yeah, like Sykkuno, shit like this. Like, damn, you guys got money.
Was XQC like number 1 that year? I'm assuming.
I don't know. But definitely he did very well.
Yeah,
I think
I'm assuming he's like a top 5.
Yeah,
like
I think
in the anime,
Hassan was doing super
doing
well.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Okay,
But yeah, I don't know. You know what? That's how I feel about SAT. It's like it's kind of like that's the Twitch SAT, but like straight revenue. You know?
Well, I mean, I think that the SAT is way more cringe though because it has no actual bearing on like reality in any way.
So I have been thinking about this. Have you seen people retake the SATs on stream before? And would you ever redo it?
Oh my god!
Because I'm just telling you, I have thought that would be a great stream if someone did that, and I would say just skip the essay one, the essay portion.
Oh yeah, I would skip the essay for sure. But wait, didn't they get rid of the essay portion? I want to say they keep changing the SAT format, but I want to say they got rid of the essay. I want to say they got rid of it, brought it back, got rid of it, brought it back.
Originally it was 1600, and they got to 24, and then it went to the SAT essay is one of the sections. Okay, yeah. The College Board now decide to make the essay optional, which of course no one's gonna fucking write the essay if it's optional. Okay.
Oh, really? I feel like it would be more likely that they do. I'm thinking if I'm a high school student and the essay is optional, I still do the essay because it shows extra effort, right? No?
I think my mom thinks the way, but yeah, but the kids or the people taking it are not going to want to do more stuff if they can do less.
That's true. But I'm thinking my parents would tell me do the fucking essay.
My parents would fucking make me do it. Yeah. But that's just they don't know how well I can make an essay. Like I can bullshit like prompts for school, but writing an actual essay. I remember I wrote an essay about. This is gonna sound really cringe. A hoodie, and it being yellow and what that meant for me as an Asian American. I'm not kidding. There's no fucking joke. And I think I scored like pretty fucking well. I think I put it as like no, it was like a college entrance essay for me, which I think is even more cringe now that I think I'm not gonna ever look for it. I was never gonna come up again in conversation. You guys could just forget I even said that.
Nope. That's immortalized. Turn that into a fucking YouTube short now.
It was very. I just remembered. Wow, I'm giga cringe.
Dude, I think I would do so badly on the SAT.
You should
specifically the math section.
Yeah.
I think I have actually completely erased from memory a lot of like just basic math.
Yes, I don't know how to do I don't know if you
were gonna say you don't know how to do division.
Yeah, if you give me like long division, I don't know if I could do it like fast enough to give you all the answers.
Okay, long division, dude. Yeah, I mean long division, fine, but I don't know if I would be able to do it, dude. Okay, have I ever told you I never passed geometry?
Okay.
Yeah, I like fell through a loophole in like my school system. So coming out of middle school, algebra goes into geometry, right? Or is it geometry and then algebra?
I think they're taken similarly. I think for my school, geometry was taken before, but it was probably within like a grade of each other.
Okay, so my parents wanted me to skip take geometry in the summer so that I could take whatever math course was after, maybe algebra 1 or algebra 2.
Algebra 1,
or
2,
pre-calc. I forget
goes
what the order
was. It goes to pre-cal and then it goes to AP Calc if you really want to get ahead.
So here's the thing. So I went to CSUN which is like a community college for summer geometry. And I, for the life of me, could just like not stay awake in those lessons because those classes were like at 7 a.m. and they were like fucking 4 hours long or some shit.
Wow. And
it would be like 5 days a week, geometry, 4 hours a day, early as fucking hell. Like I kept falling asleep in class and the teacher would constantly call me out to wake up. And it was just like, bro, I kind of feel bad, but I just genuinely could not stay awake through those classes. And my teacher would be like, Peter, wake up, go wash your face in the bathroom, come back, wake up. And then, I was just a really bad student. And I got a D. I got a D in that course. But the thing is, I am now transferring to a high school that's on a magnet program that actually already started in August, I believe, which is like I think a month earlier than like traditional high school start. I think most high schools start in September.
Okay.
So the thing is, I'm transferring like a week late into school with a D in geometry, but I'm being put into a course that is after geometry.
And then you start to learn that geometry is not that important.
So no, seriously, the teacher, they already put me in this course without actually having any proof that I passed geometry, which I didn't.
Okay.
And I think like someone at the school board just like looked at my transcript from the community college. I was like, wait, this motherfucker didn't pass geometry. Wait, it's already been like 3 months that he's into this next math course.
Did you have a problem?
No.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's not that important.
Yeah, so like they just like didn't give a fuck. I thought that this was gonna fucking catch up to me one day, and that they would just like take my high school diploma and just like rip it up in front of me or some shit.
I don't like that Jason put the Pythagorean theorem up here. Like this is gonna be on an exam for us later.
Yeah.
I will say though, I think it'd be a really funny stream to do the SAT.
Fuck, I might fucking do it, but like, yeah, I remember in college, I was still worried, like, dude, what if they find out I'm a fucking fraud? And I don't know geometry, bro. And they just like invalidate all my diplomas. But thank God it hasn't happened. And now it's not relevant because I'm a streamer. So.
Yeah. Honestly, all the stuff they told you in school that you needed, cursive, no one uses that shit.
Dude, whoever the fuck taught the lie that cursive would be important is a fucking dumbass. People only do cursive for their autographs. Yep, I swear to God.
That's it.
And even then, a lot of people just do like unique ass autographs that don't even use cursive anymore.
That's not important. And but you know what? I think the process of schooling is to teach you how to learn.
Yeah.
Which I think is not super obvious when you're getting taught. Like, I feel like the American school system, or just the school systems that I were a part of, didn't really do that. You guys have to wing it and figure it out. And eventually I figured out that, I have a learning system, but I'm in my 20s. Like, I'm in fucking college when I'm like, my learning systems suck ass in college because I didn't really focus on figure out how to learn earlier. Because like, I was one of those kids where like middle school was a fucking joke. High school early was a joke, and then like later I was like, I like failed a class, but like it's okay, like I'm still getting B's and shit. And then I get to college and I'm like getting C's, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, I'm fucking stupid. Yeah. I gotta get to work, And I still think, and I still didn't do that well. Yeah. But I also played video games the entire time in college, and that's definitely my fault.
Yeah, I almost dropped out freshman or sophomore year because I was playing so much World of Warcraft. I just wouldn't go to class because I was playing so much WoW.
Yeah, I was playing so much League. WoW was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Good times.
Good times, man. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm wondering if like modern high schools or like high schools in the present day teach more like life skill courses. Like, because like we had a home ec class.
I didn't have a home ec class.
My high school had a home ec class.
Maybe it did, but it was optional. So like no one took it.
Yeah, ours was optional too. But like I'm thinking like if I would put any courses into a high school now, it would be like finance,
tax.
Yeah,
tax. Finance.
Yeah, finance, like technological literacy, like computer literacy courses,
super important,
and just like shit like that. Like I just feel that we're not really setting up like future generations for success.
So my mom, who's at the age of like 60 right now ish, is like there's those type of classes that where you relearn stuff when you're really old. I think in China, and she's not there anymore. But I remember when she still was in China, she was taking those classes of like how to relearn like like learning new skills in the modern day, as well as like technological like competency, was really interesting.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I just feel like I will probably have to use those in the future too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about the future.
What you been reading?
Remember how we told everyone to read for our book club?
Yeah, Pluto.
With a great cut to our great book, Pluto. Great manga by
Naoki
Urasawa.
Yep.
For people who don't know, we had a call to action like a guest ago, 2 podcasts ago, about reading Pluto. Pluto is something that both of me and Peter have read before. And I, full disclosure, read 40 chapters in the last week to catch up. I'm not fully finished, but I have a lot to say. A lot to say about Pluto.
I'm going to be completely fucking transparent here. I have not reread Pluto since I last reread it, which was, to be fair, was actually earlier this year. So
okay,
I've reread it recently.
You're very close.
Very close. So yeah, I mean, I still remember a lot of what I read.
The first thing I have to say about Pluto, first of all, we're talking about Pluto. It's gonna be spoilers, just obvious, right? It's been a while since I've read a story that makes me think. When I usually read manga, it's like bingeable like garbage a lot of times, or like not garbage. It's like it's like fluff films. Sorry, not what I meant to say. It's like action summer blockbusters where you just turn off your brain and you're just like, shit, man, fuck's going crazy, and you're like, okay, that's cool.
It's fast food.
Yeah, it's fast food. You read anything by Urasawa and it is
it's fine dining.
It is, and a lot of times don't like fine dining, or like I'm not in the mood for it. So reading this is crazy. Literally, the way that each chapter builds slowly on top of the overall story is remarkable. For Pluto is a mystery manga set in the future, where you follow one robot in an age where robots and humans are coexisting. And we're at the point where like...
Oh, we should also elaborate that this is like a spin-off in the world of Astroboy.
Oh, is it a spin-off? I didn't even know.
Yeah, so, well, I wouldn't say spin-off, but this is set in the world of Astroboy. So, I think the main character, Adam, is Astroboy. That's him. Like, all these characters are...
I didn't know he was actually Astroboy.
Yeah, it straight up is. Like, so if you... I think you... Like, all these characters exist. Like, Dr. Tenma, Professor Ochanomizu.
Oh,
you know?
I never watched or read Astro Boy, so I just assumed they were like, I've seen them, and I was like, oh, are they loosely associated? But I'm surprised they're like based off of.
I'm pretty sure it's like directly based off of, but like obviously, this is it's like it is. I would classify this as a spinoff.
Okay.
So yeah,
wow,
like a more serious, like dark take on like robots and robot ethics and shit in like the world of Astro Boy.
It's really interesting because it really is about like a future where the like ethics are based around like, are robots human? Like, and like, can you put laws on them like human laws do? And the number one robotic law, obviously, that always gets made is that robots cannot hurt humans. But we're getting to the point in the story where we follow a robotic detective who it's a German name. Is it Giselt? Giselt? His name is Giselt, but like I don't know how that phrase works. I don't know how to pronounce it. But he's from Interpol, like and he ends up solving a lot of cases, like, because obviously he's a robot. He's got precise analytical capability, no emotional attachment, and he's just a genius at that. And you start to read, and the story slowly unfolds of like, it's a murder mystery. Someone's going around attacking and killing the most famous and advanced robots in the world.
And like humans like associated with them.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So whether it's like lead researchers, lead scientists, as well as these robots who are literally like the best and brightest in the world. People who are like seemingly more human or like super strong fighters. All of these are like, there's 7 robots that are like considered to be like really, really strong robots. And you slowly start to piece together like, who's killing the robots? What is the reason? And you start to get enwrapped in a world where people aren't really sure what rights robots should have, and how there's like prejudice against robots, and how much it's like they're robot couples, literally like robots who date each other, and like humans being like, how could they know emotion or feeling? How can they judge these cases, human cases, if they're all robots? Like there's nothing there. And so it's a very interesting story and on that, and it's really just meaty. You read it, every chapter is fucking like, wow, that happens. So it's so great. It's so good how they slowly unveil the veil of the puzzle of what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, Urasawa is just so fucking good at that, you know? And I do think that Pluto is like one of his more approachable works. Like, I love 20th Century Boys. I love Monster, but those two works are dense, like super dense. And like, you know, it requires effort to like really get into them.
20th Century Boys, I don't know if it's with the sequel or without, like spans 2 lifetimes.
Yes.
And I remember after the first lifetime, I'm like, it's not done.
Yeah.
I don't think I even finished the story. It's as crazy when the story starts on like a character and then his children are still part of the story.
Like they carry on the story.
Yeah. And I'm like, what is going on? 249 chapters for 20th Century Boys. Yeah, I don't think I ever finished.
I have. I think I was like 10 years ago maybe that I finished it, but like it's a lot. It's a lot. I remember I reread Monster from start to finish a few years ago, and that was a lot easier to get. I think Monster's a lot more accessible than 20th Century Boys.
Oh.
So that's just my opinion though, but that's how I felt about it. But Pluto is by far the most accessible work. I think it's like really not that, like the themes that it tackles are really cool and interesting, but like it's not like, oh god, like this is so fucking dense and tiring to get into. Like it was really good. And also I love the sense of dread that he is able to instill with the way he fucking draws. Like his art style is so good. Like all the imagery of Pluto and like the way like these kids, like there's this one kid I believe that was so strongly traumatized by the incidents of the event. Like I think he keeps saying Bora. Like he only says one word, Bora. And he like draws like this demonic figure with crayons all the time, and you're trying to figure out like what the fuck this monster that's murdering all these other robots are and shit.
You start to realize the history and the past of these, like what made the 7 robots the strongest robots or the most well known. They were sent to was it Persia? I'm pretty sure they were sent to an enemy territory to find like, essentially robots of mass destruction, and they didn't find any there, surprisingly, but they took down and killed thousands of other robots. These 7 robots themselves, they were like super powerful, and they took down like just all of these robots, and they were applauded for it. Like they came back here, national heroes. But you start to delve into them a little bit more, and they talk about how their experiences were traumatizing, essentially, and like how can robots be traumatized, but they can be, and you slowly start to be like, oh, like they develop human and more human things that look like human emotion, and then you're like, they actually do feel. You see like paragraphs where like a robot couple adopts a robot child, and then they're just like, I don't like how they react when the robot child dies in a crime. It's like, I wish I never adopted them. Kind of deal, to get this feeling. Or like they understand the feeling now. And it's like crazy that you start to see the emotion go spread to like robots in that way. I think it makes you think a lot about like, oh, it could in some way, shape, or form happen in our future. I think the best sci-fi always goes down to a little bit of truth. You know?
I think that's so. I agree with that so much, because a lot of these robot designs are so old, right? Like intentionally, because he's drawing robot designs from the original Astro Boy work. So like a lot of these, so like they make a distinction between like older robots and newer gen robots. Newer gen robots more strongly resemble like humans, while old gen robots are, you know, like how you think of like fucking, you know, just like something that looks like an air conditioner with arms, right? But yeah, so you'll see this like air conditioner with arms whose purpose is to clean, and then the detective will informs her like, your husband's died, your husband has been murdered, and then the robot is like, oh, I now understand like how like my human counterparts have felt. Like this is grief. I understand, you know, and like it's just like, oh god, that feels so fucking bad. And like the thing is, the robot is expressionless, right? It's just like a robot face. But the way that he writes dialogue is like so like, oh fuck it, it hurts you, you know?
It's really interesting. Like one of the robots has the ability to detect feeling. When people are feeling emotional grief or emotional sadness, her name's Urine. She can walk around and detect that, oh, this person's feeling really sad, these people are feeling like emotions, and it's like, well, how did she become that kind of person?
Right.
Or like in one of the big reveals in the middle of it, it's literally just Dr. Tenma, who is like the greatest AI scientist, robotic scientist in the world, once tried to make the perfect AI. He put one AI and they put 6 billion people's like lives in one AI to try to simulate and take like an entire, essentially the human pool of people, population, into one unit. And it never woke up until he put in extreme polarizing emotions like hatred, and then that made it finally function. And to be able to like, I guess, survive the amount of human data, they need extreme human emotion to be able to process it. The more I read, the more I unravel and unreal, and I kind of actually forgot the ending, which is great. I start to like feel like, oh, this is really just a really excellent, well done, thoughtful piece, and it makes you think a lot.
Yeah. I mean, me and you, we're dumpster divers. We read so much fucking garbage manhwa, isekai manga bullshit. So like every now and then, it's really nice to like go back to something that is just like so like well thought out and like well written.
You're not at the point when you're reading this, you're like, damn, like, but where does he get the magic sword and why is he immune to it? He got a superpower when he grew up because his parents died when his village got attacked. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's like, oh, this guy like works at Interpol, is the greatest robotic detective ever, and then he keeps having memories and dreams. Why does he have dreams? He slowly started to unveil like he's dreaming, and then during the middle of it, one of the parts is like, oh, well, he's going on a trip to Japan with his robotic wife.
Yeah.
And then as they're applying for their visa, they were told, oh, you already applied to go. And he's like, no, I didn't. And he finds that he has fake memories, but he doesn't know how he got them. Yeah. And so as the stuff slowly builds up, because he's trying to go on vacation to get away from his job that's like consuming him and starting to give him like massive amount of like, I guess, robotic pain. He's starting to, it's like kind of like making him feel emotions, extreme emotions. Like what's missing, like what did he do before? I just have nothing but great things to say. I think this is one of the things that for me is, I don't know about timeless, but it's definitely something where like it's no problem. You can read it whenever, and it's really, really good. I think it's very humanizing, and I like that a lot.
I mean, I think a lot of things contribute to its timelessness. Like, I think Urasawa's art style is just really fucking good too. Like it's definitely not like, doesn't have like mass appeal, I would necessarily say, but like it feels more like comic booky in a way, if that makes sense, and not just like schlocky, just tropey anime manga style. He definitely has his
own style.
Yeah.
And I like it. It works for him.
No, it's good. Yeah.
While we're on the topic of him, I will admit he did write Billy Bat. After I did not get into that.
I cannot get into Billy
Bat.
That
one was impossible to get into.
I have tried so many times to get into Billy Bat. I cannot get into Billy Bat.
I do not know what it's even about. I think is this another mystery? I think it's another. He does.
I want to say it's another mystery. It's like layers within layers. There's like a lot of meta like shit going on because it's like a comic book with, it's like a manga within a manga essentially.
Yeah, but it's also one of those things that is like, it's by Urasawa. It's a mystery, but like I couldn't get into it. Which is, so I think that like he's definitely an author where, he has great works, but they're a little weighty, you know?
Some of it's like a little more unapproachable, I would say. But like, holy fuck, dude. Like if I highly recommend like the 3. In order, I would do Pluto, into Monster, into 20th Century Boys.
I can't recommend 20th Century because I haven't finished it, but it was really good when I read it.
I mean, I think 20th Century Boys is really fucking good. To be fair though, like I finished that series so fucking long ago, but I remember coming away from it with like really, really positive feelings. I've reread Monster and Pluto more recently, I would say overall, and I would still highly recommend both of them. So yeah,
I think this is the most intellectual my brain's felt in years.
Like, no, it feels
like
good.
Like if I take the SATs after reading this, I would get a better score.
Yeah,
like
you get 2210.
No, man.
No,
I get
not that
I get 2130.
Oh.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I don't know. Pluto is it's a good one.
My parents were so embarrassed by 2130 they made me take the ACT because they're like, maybe he can get a better score on the ACT.
I never took the ACT.
I got 31 out of 36, which I think is
Good.
the same exact or like
it's the
slightly
same
better
tier. Oh, I see.
tier. And she was also disappointed. I'm like, man, I can't do anything for you, mom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That fucking hurts.
Your
man.
child's fucking dumb as shit. It's okay.
Sorry, man. I'm so fucking sorry. My fucking bad. You had to take both tests for it to come out to the same conclusion, essentially.
Oh man.
Damn. Yeah, Pluto is really good. I remember reading Pluto in 2 days because I was just so that was like
I have legit read 40 chapters in 3 days, which is pretty good for how like dense it is.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you've been reading recently?
Recently I started rereading the Reincarnation of the Suicidal Battle God again.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's just I mean it's just an enjoyable read, I would say overall. I've been liking that. I think it's really solid from Manhwa.
Yeah. Did I talk about Ending Maker to you yet?
Ending Maker?
Yes.
No. Is that a manhwa?
It's a manhwa. God, I'm really down this like Korean manhwa hole.
Mm-hmm.
And like, okay, they do a lot of princess, they do a lot of regression, they do a lot of MMO.
Mm-hmm.
This is an MMO,
of course,
manhwa, of course, where the number 1 player and the number 2 player both regress into the MMO world, and then they work together.
Oh, it's from 2 people's perspectives.
It's from they're working together.
That's cool.
And the perspective is it follows the first place player, but let's say they're literally together all the time, so we're like it's literally their perspective.
I feel like isekai and regression very rarely has 2 go back together.
Yeah, which is why I read it.
Right?
Yeah. So like they're trying to get like essentially what happens is they regress into a time period where they're both in the characters they used to play, and then like a disaster is gonna happen 5 years from now, and they need to figure out a way to stop it and like perfect clear the game essentially. Okay. So they're going back to find like the dungeons they went through or like the strategy guys, and they're talking about like like all this stuff, and it feels like it's pretty good.
Okay.
I enjoy it, but there's romance in it. The first place character is the guy, and the second place character is the girl. And they both have different traits that make them really good. Like one's a great mage, one's a great like a technical person.
Okay.
In terms of like in memory, he remembers everything. And so it's definitely like the romance is slowly building, and I'm just like, I kind of wish the romance wasn't. I don't know about
wasn't a thing. Like, does it impact your enjoyment of it?
I don't know. I guess it doesn't. But it's definitely one of those like feel good things. Like
I hate women.
Remember the last one I brought up that I was reading Princess manhwa, and it was terrible.
Yeah,
I read all of it, all 70 chapters. Fucking terrible.
Okay.
But I couldn't stop. This was one that I'm like, oh, it's pretty decent. I would give it a decent out of 10, which honestly is like,
what's decent? Like 6, 5?
Like 6.
Okay.
Like if I was a 7, I would always recommend 7s to people. So when I would go to restaurants and I say, oh, this is a 7, generally that means like just go.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
I only recommend 6s to people who enjoy that genre.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great example. Yeah. So like this is one of those things where like you like this stupid like regression thing.
I mean, I like romance. So like that works for me. I'm fucking down.
Dude, I recently I was gonna pick up that green background thing. So I'm gonna go that's the next thing I'm gonna read.
Oh, was it the boy she liked wasn't a boy at all? I think it's something like that.
Yes. Yeah. I am excited because I haven't read something romantic in a while in terms of.
Yeah, it's a nice, fluffy Yuri romance, bro. Oh, it's good. I like it. Yeah.
Oh God.
I fuck with it. Yeah. I've been reading. I mean, I'm caught up on Dandadan, and like, I kind of thought this arc was a slog, but he did the thing where he did the backstory in like a flashback, and I'm just like, oh man, he does that shit so well. Damn. I usually don't really like flashbacks, but okay. So, spoiler warning. I'm not going to go into plot spoilers, but more like structure spoilers.
Yes.
So, the whole chapter of the flashback of one of the characters that they introduced is there's no words. They don't say a single word. There's no dialogue in the entire chapter, basically. But it's so good, dude. It's so good.
For reference, I am not fully caught up. I think I'm about 10 chapters behind. Which isn't like not that much.
That's not. You could do that in like an hour.
I'm not saying I'm going to, but okay.
Fucking crazy.
So you don't understand. So I'm here chilling. I'm just reading my shit, playing some games, all that stuff. Brother messages me, "Hey, you read the recent chapter of Dandadan yet?" I'm like, "What?" he's like, it's so good. I'm like, what? He's like, never mind. I'm gonna talk to Peter. I'm like,
Yeah, he messaged.
what?
Yeah, Broden messaged me and was like, "Dude, the most recent chapter of Dan Dedan." He even asked me if I read it. He knew, and I replied with, "Dude, I know, right?" So,
it's like he never does that. I think he did that to me once in Chainsaw Man because he was like, it's not finished. He just like huge message me. You gave me something that wasn't finished, and I was like, sucks to be you, man. But like this time it was like he's like, it was insane, and I'm like, Broden's never said that to me before. Even though like I know he loves the series, and like it must have done something crazy.
I wouldn't say it was crazy, but like just
so good.
The paneling was very well done, and like the story that they portrayed was very impactful. Like I may have shed a tear a little bit. So it was good, but it was fucked up. It was good.
In other news, I'm still following Eleceed, and I swear to God, this shit is so bad.
I have not read Eleceed in probably like 30 chapters.
Eleceed should be about it's a cat manga.
Should needs to focus more on the cats.
The cats at Eleceed are so cute.
Yeah, they're hella cute.
The main bad guy, or not a bad guy, he's like a rogue person, who ends up teaching the main character is has to go into the body of a cat after a thing that gives him a really bad bruises from a fight. He has to turn to a cat, and then he meets a boy who takes care of cats, and then he brings the boy into the world of like his fighting essentially, and trains him like a protege. And it's most of the time it's just really cute because it's like this cat doing weird fucking stupid shit, and he's got great art about like the silliness and the comedy of it, and they introduced a new character, and I'm just like, I'm so not interested. I'm like, man, like just give me more cats.
I think the series suffers a lot when it goes into like the more serious like martial arts combat stuff, and it is so good when it focuses more on like the dumb silly shit.
Yeah, dumb. So, they do such a good job with
that's a series I'm gonna binge when it's done.
Yeah, probably.
But
I'm gonna drop that shit soon.
Yeah, it's just funny because like I really liked it, especially after Girls of the Wild, which is like the author's previous work, which is like such a fucking train wreck of a series that I enjoyed, by the way. But yeah, I was hoping for a little more out of this one, and it was good for a little while, but like now I'm just like kind of whatever about it.
The funniest thing is, recently I was reading. I don't even know if I like this. This one's weird. It's called. It's a manhwa, set in historical time. It's called Joseon or something. It's something after with that word. And it's about this buff ass bodybuilder trainer who goes back in time.
That sounds awesome.
And then he's jacked. Like he's like fucking jacked.
It's like stacked like pancakes.
Yeah, and then he gets put into yes, it's Muscle Joe's. This is so, it's like just ridiculous. Like if you look at the panels, it's literally just like he goes back. He's like the third son of the emperor, and the emperor, who's like one of the smartest men in history, okay, is fat. Like he's overweight. He looks like he's like maybe developing diabetes or something. And the guy is just like, I have to make sure that my dad gets better. So he historically writes a novel about how to be like healthy and why it's familial piety to have a healthy and strong. Oh,
that's how he's trying to affect the.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And so everyone around him is like slowly becoming buff. He like introduces dumbbells, and the people are like, why did the prince just order so much metal? This looks like he's making weapons. And he's like, it's just like he's just like flexing and like, you know, and then to show like the ultimate familial piety in like a competition. Oh, spoilers. He ends up just like showing off his big three. Like, you know, he does like deadlifts, he does fucking squats, and he does bench. And people are like, oh my God, he's so strong. He's like this, like he's like gonna go down in history as one of the strongest people. And his dad's finally like, fine, I'll help do the program. You've really shown that this. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Like he's just like, people are just getting jacked, like super fucking jacked and buff. But like, it's kind of funny. So like, I ended up reading it. I kind of liked it.
I might check it out. I feel like this podcast has made me more open to like gag and like stupid but funny premises than before.
There's so many things that are just like boring because it's like not their fault, but it's very tropey. Like as someone who tends to like consume a lot, like you're done with the tropey shit, right? Like it's true for all mediums.
I'm not done with the tropey shit. I still eat
Stop.
that. I fucking shovel that shit down.
I'm sure when people watch like K-dramas or even TV shows, like stuff is not super interesting if it's like normal, right? There has to be some sort of hook. It's like, oh yeah, like this guy is a princess, but actually it's an assassin who's not a princess, but like some random other shit. He's actually a dragon. And you're like, what the fuck?
Listen, man, I'm just waiting for like the fucking isekai where the guy gets like teleported to a world where being short and having a small penis is like OP. Like turn that fucking premise. Like I want to see that shit.
I'm pretty sure there's already one like that.
Well, if there is, fucking link it to me, guys. I need to see that premise fleshed out. You know what I mean?
You're...
Oh my god, our destined hero with the fucking 3-inch penis that's 5'2". We've been waiting for you. Like I'm like, damn, I want to see that spin. I want to fucking see it.
I do not know this guy.
Yeah.
I am doing this podcast solo, looking for tall girl X short boy manga.
Okay, that's different. Like
that is different.
I could name like 3 off the top of my head that have that shit. Okay.
Yeah, and that's actually what Peter's into. So.
Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah. One of the shoujo manga that I remember growing, because I didn't really read shoujo manga that often. One of the ones that I liked growing up was called Lovely Complex, and it was literally about a short guy and a tall girl. Like that's the premise.
Wait, we forgot to talk about it. Dan's getting an anime soon.
That's
right?
true. Dude, the first episode airs a day before my birthday, October 10th, baby.
Oh,
let's fucking go.
Okay, this is gonna be really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I saw a Twitter thread about the Dan, and people were just like, look at all these other anime that are fucking weird. Luckily, Dan is peak, and it will always be peak. And people are like, when the first episode of the anime comes out, you guys will have to be defending yourselves for a long time. And I'm like,
oh, I was gonna say like, wait, Dan's like fucking weird.
It's just like the very first episode's fucking weird, man. It's like,
I mean, I think the series itself is fucking weird. That's what makes it so unique and enjoyable for me.
I think, yeah, I agree.
Oh, but like I will say the first episode's like creepy weird.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you really like this kind of stuff.
Oh,
huh?
you like schoolgirls being abducted by aliens, huh?
Yeah. And so like having to explain the first episode is gonna be like, it's gonna suck. You know? That one episode we're gonna be like, yo, just keep watching, and people are like, oh, you keep watching, you fucking freak. I'll be like, oh shit, I'm so sorry.
Listen, bro. I will say that I think that like Made in Abyss goes to weirder depths than Dan has so far.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah.
But I also think that a lot of that has to do with like the characters in Made in Abyss are just very childlike.
I mean, yes, that's probably
And it's like,
yeah.
I think that to some level, like that makes the juxtaposition of how dark it is very, very weird.
Yeah.
But like cool.
Yeah.
But then like the weird factor does.
Yeah, the weird uncomfortable factor goes way up. To be honest.
Yeah. You know, happens. We do hand wave some of the weirdness of Japan. But it's bad because like I'm just used to some of the weirdness now. I'm like, yep, this girl does look 10,000 years old.
Yeah, but she doesn't. So
exactly,
yeah,
she does not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just hoping that Dan the anime is good. That's all I want. Oh, also by the way, speaking of anime announcements, Sakamoto Days anime announced.
I think I'm not caught up. I ended up reading a decent amount. I'll say 100 plus 130 chapters. It's cool, man. It's so cool.
I just can't get
into the art. Is so good too.
The art's good.
Like literally, look at some of this. The art. Okay, I think when you see it in like action, the art is great. I think it's rare to see like, okay, I don't know how to say this. It's rare to see like really cool fat people in anime or manga. And like he has like this. He's a retired hitman, and he used to be the best hitman in the world. Okay. And you're just like, what does that even mean? Like, how cool is that? Now he works as like a grocery store clerk with his friend.
Fuck, man. I'll give it another shot. It's like literally for me, the premise and everything, the characters are so cool, but like the art sometimes is like so sketchy to me, or not. Like I don't mean like sketchy, I mean sketchy, like literally like sketchbook. You know,
I will say, I think I think I saw a ranking list of Shonen Jump manga, and this was like a top 3.
Hey, no, it's pretty high.
It was like a top
It's
2.
pretty high. But also, like, Kagurabachi is pretty high, too. So let's just,
Oh, really?
it's pretty high. Yeah. And that makes me also think that, like, I have not drank the
Can we
Kool-Aid.
pull up a list of right now? What month is it? It's May, right?
Yes.
Can we pull up April Shonen Jump 2024 and see? Oh wait, which one is? This is the latest one. This must be really recent. 2024 issue. Yeah, so it must be like super recent.
Mm-hmm.
Rankings. One Piece at the top. My Hero.
No, I mean, yeah. My Hero's wrapping up. So, like, a lot of, like, the big fucking... I think, like, Yeah, no. My Hero's wrapping up.
Okay,
So
that makes sense.
That makes sense.
That's
Blue Box being number 3 makes me really fucking happy to see. Because Blue Box is romance. Blue Box is a high school romance.
I thought they misspelled Blue Lock.
No. Blue Box is a high school romance about a fucking what is that sport called with the rackets with the fucking badminton. Yes, it's about a badminton guy and a basketball girl.
Wait, it's not Blue Lock.
No, Blue Box.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so Blue Box is number 3. That's cool.
Okay, Jujutsu Kaisen's number 4.
Jujutsu Kaisen being below Blue Box surprises me. Wait, Mission Yozakura?
Dude, literally look. I don't know what the 24 saying. He got ranked 12th. Isn't that crazy for one of the?
Me and Roboco?
No,
wait, what?
Oh, for like I don't know what the numbers mean. Like, is that like the ranking of Pete stuff? But Jujutsu Kaisen went up 2 ranks. That's good. I think the weird thing about Jujutsu Kaisen is I feel like it should be doing really well because it's in like a really crazy arc. But I think it's been so up and down in terms of like.
I haven't read it, but I've been kind of reading like discourse around it. The comments seem pretty positive around it.
Recently, I've seen good comments more, so I'm probably gonna delve back into it when the arc kind of concludes.
Yeah,
it's definitely a little bit divisive though.
Yeah.
Can we see it again real quick? I want to see the
Wait,
last.
I saw Ruri Dragon on the bottom though.
Sakamoto Days is 5. Ruri Dragon's at the bottom. It just came back. Maybe that doesn't even count because it's like supposed to be over a couple weeks, right?
I think Greens is fucking done. That's a golf one.
Dude, I read that and I realize it's not that great.
It's not that great. Also, Elusive Samurai, I'm surprised is like still.
I've never read that.
It's not great.
Undead Unluck, I thought had an interesting, like, art.
Okay.
Premise.
Mm-hmm.
Unkillable person, always really interesting. But like never really kind of cut it. I love Akane Bonnouji, but like I'm not even kidding. I've read like a lot of it, but I think it really loses a little bit of its value if you're not Japanese.
Yeah, I think I completely agree.
It's one of those like things where like they're talking about acting, like stage play acting, Japanese stage play acting.
Like, I think outside of Japan, it probably
it's really
is not
hard
as
to stay
palatable.
into it. And the rest of the stuff I don't really read.
The only one I don't know about at all on this list would be Super Psychic Policeman Shoujo, which is ranked 7 here. So like it makes me think I should try it.
Hella impressive if it's got 7. By
the way, Astro Royale is the new series by the guy who did the high school. What's it called? Oh God, I always forget the names.
High School of the Dead?
No. So it's about high schoolers, and it's a time travel one. Tokyo Revengers.
Oh,
yeah, Tokyo Revengers. It's the new series by the Tokyo Revengers guy, and it's extremely mid in my opinion. This is like Naruto going to whatever his fucking
7 Samurai.
That it's like that drop in quality for me, in my opinion. It's pretty bad and generic.
It sucks because like I think nowadays you have to have a good hook.
Yeah.
Like if your first chapter isn't like some sort of generating interest, like it's not good enough.
Yeah.
Especially because like you're usually given like color pages and like it's like 24 to 50 pages is your first chapter, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta have it.
No.
If you weren't hooked, that is very bad.
Yeah. I was not hooked. I was very blah about the first chapter. But, I'm curious what you guys think about like, the current titles in Shonen Jump. Like let us know which ones you guys have been enjoying and vibing with, and yeah.
Before we wrap it up, how do you feel about what to read next for our book club?
For the book club.
Reminder for our book club that when we have guests, we're not going to have or talk about the book club. Our guest frequency is probably going to be about once every 2 episodes or 3 episodes. Just something to keep in mind. So whatever we talk about now will not be in the next guest episode, but will be the one after.
How do you feel about romance?
I'm down.
Okay. I want
Don't say Nisekoi.
No, I'm not gonna say Nisekoi. This one's gonna be an actual like not relatively well known one.
Okay.
Actually, it's kind of. Do you want a longer one or a shorter one?
Ideally, I would say it's best for shorter stuff, unless the longer one's just beast.
I want to recommend Bonnouji then. So it's Bonnouji. So the synopsis is basically about these two people that live in the same apartment complex meet up, and the guy has, I think, a brother that just like sends him boxes of random shit, and then she'll just like come over and just like check out whatever's in the random box of shit with him, and it's like a nice little fluffy, easygoing romance.
35 chapters. Okay.
I think pretty doable, and I think it's a cute little romance. So yeah. I like it because like, okay, not to get into spoiler territory too hard, but like there's not a lot of drama.
Wow, it's fully ended.
Yeah.
At 35. Okay.
There's not a lot of drama. There's not really any drama. It's just kind of like how these two kind of develop feelings for each other and like how it works out from there. And like,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Check out Bonnouji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Thank you
so much for watching.
Watching/listening to episode 11.